Good morning and happy Friday, boys and girls. We're going to finish up our week of learning about dogs by reading Dex, the Heart of a Hero. This is a pretty good book, so I hope you have your listening ears ready. Dexter was a little dog. His legs were little, his tail was little, his body was little. He looked like a plump sausage sitting on 4 little meatballs. Being the size that he was, Dex was often overlooked. The other dogs grew tired of waiting for Dex to catch up when they played chase, and after a while they forgot to invite him at all. No one really seemed to notice him except when Clevis, the tomcat, demonstrated how he could stand right over Dex and not even ruffle his fur. How do you think that made Dexter feel? Look at his eyes. Probably kind of annoyed, right? He doesn't look sad or mad, just kind of annoyed. Yes, everything about Dex was little, except for his dreams. He wanted to be a hero. He could just see it. The mighty Dex flew up in the dark and starry night. But wanting and being are two different things. Dex lived on dreams until one day, after crawling out from under Clevis yet again, he decided there had to be more to life than gazing at the underside of a cat. There had to be more to him. If he could be a hero, he would. So Dex started training. He read every superhero comic book he could find and watched every hero movie ever made. He went to the library. Furiously, he studied, knowing everything depended on him. Dex figured that a hero must have strong muscles. He needed exercise, and lots of it. Dex started trotting to the corner and back every morning. He hopped over every crack on the sidewalk. He struggled to climb the garbage pile up and over and down, then up and over and down again. All day long he worked, day after day, even at bedtime when he wanted to flop on the rug with his tongue hanging out. Dex forced himself to circle 5 extra times. The mighty Dex pressed on through the rain and storm and fatigue. When it got easier to run to the corner and back, Dex did it again, and then again. Then he dragged a sock filled with rocks as he ran, then 2 socks. When Clevis was bored and stood in the middle of the sidewalk to block his way, Dex dropped to the ground and slid right underneath him. He was too busy to be bothered by Clevis. Dex was tired. He was sore. He was working so hard that he almost forgot what he was working for. But one night, as he dragged himself to bed after his last set of push-ups, Dex stopped in front of the mirror and flexed. He could feel them. He could see them. Muscles! Faster than a rolling ball, stronger than the toughest rawhide, able to leap tall fences in a single bound. Now Dex didn't take the stairs. He skimmed them. He leaped over hydrants. He vaulted up curbs. He could jump over the garbage mountain without touching the top. He could run like the wind. He felt as fast. He felt as if his legs had springs. Only one thing was missing. Finally, a small brown package arrived. Dex ripped it open. His hero suit! It was red, with a shiny green cape, and it fit like a glove. Dex loved the way it felt. He loved the way it looked. And he loved the feeling he had when he put it on. He was ready. With the courage of a lion, the strength of a bear, and the heart of a hero. When Dex went out in his suit for the very first time, he looked up the street and down. He noticed a young pup trying to cross the street. Dex sprang into action. May I help you? He asked. He guided the wide-eyed pup across the street and grinned as the pup stared up at him with his mouth hanging open. The pup whispered, "Wow, super dog, super dog." Dex liked the sound of that. Of course, when Clevis saw Dex, he just had to comment, "Hey Dex, where's the party?" And when he saw him a few days later, Clevis called out, "Look, everybody, it must be Halloween. Anybody got a treat for Dex?" Dex was so busy that he was able to ignore Clevis for the most part. The only time his face even got red was when Clevis yelled, "Where'd you get that dress up?" Dex had to wonder if Clevis saw anything but the suit. Didn't he understand that the suit was just a way to let people know he was there to help? There was a mouse he saved from a sewer, a purse snatcher he tackled. He fixed his neighbor's sprinkler. He found a lost kitten, pulled a rat away from a live wire, tracked down a lost wallet, put out a trash fire, and organized a neighborhood cleanup day. It seemed that now everyone needed help. Whenever anyone needed help, they turned to Dex, and Dex had never been happier. Late one evening, there was a bang at the door. When Dex answered, it seemed as if the whole neighborhood was yipping and yowling in panic. "It's Clevis!" they shouted. "He's stuck in a tree! Hurry, Dex, hurry!" Dex raised his eyebrows. It was not like Clevis to move enough to get into any trouble. But in a flash, he was dressed and ready. It was clearly a desperate situation. As he got closer, Dex could see Clevis. He had been chasing a squirrel to the top of the tree, who had slipped and was hanging by one claw from a slender branch. He was yowling for all he was worth. "I'm slipping," Cletus screeched. "Help me!" Dex looked desperately around for something to climb on. There were no boxes or ladders, not even any trash cans. Then Dex looked at the crowd. "You see Clevis?" "Quick, everyone," Dex shouted. "I've got an idea." Dex leaped into the end of the teeter-totter facing the tree, pushed it to the ground. "Everybody on the other end. 1, 2, 3!" All the animals jumped together on the other end of the teeter-totter, catapulting Dex into the air. He soared over the crowd, his ears and cape streaming out behind him. The mighty Dex flew up into the dark and starry night. Dex scrambled onto the branch next to Clevis. Quickly, he pulled off his cape and tied it 4 corners onto the screeching cat. "Jump!" Dex shouted. "Jump, Clevis!" With an ear-piercing shriek, Clevis let go. The billowing cape caught the air and parachuted the big cat to the ground. Dex backed up and slid to the ground amidst the cheer of the crowd. Dex was bruised and tired, but he forgot his discomfort as Clevis sheepishly lumbered over, still tangled in the grape cape. "Thank you, Dex. You really are a hero." Dex didn't think he could feel any better, but he did, just a little, the next day when Clevis slid up next to him and whispered, "Say, Dex, can I be your partner?" Dex looked at the big tomcat up and down. It would take a lot of work to turn Clevis into a hero, but he could hardly wait. Sure, said Dex with a grin. Sure. With twice the brains and triple the brawn, our heroes forged on, ever ready to lend a helping paw. The end. All right, so you have a Venn diagram for this. A Venn diagram is going to help you compare and contrast parts of this story. Let me find it for you real fast so I can show you. All right, it looks like this. So you're going to compare and contrast Dex and Clevis. So in the middle, right here, is where you're going to put things that are the same between them. So what are Dex and Clevis? They're both animals. They're both superheroes. So there's some things that are similar between the two. On Dex's side, you're going to put things that are just Dex. So Dex is a dog and Clevis is a cat, right? So you can draw pictures to show things that are different and things that are the same. All right. All right, so I want you to go do that. But before, let's review the story elements. So what's the title? Dex, the Heart of a Hero. Carolyn Buehrer is the author. What's the author's job? To write the words, you're right. And it was illustrated by Mark Buehrer. What's the illustrator's job? To draw the pictures. Who was the main character in this story? Who was the story all about? Dex, right? And there were some other characters in there. What was the other character's name? Clevis. What happened at the beginning of the story? Yeah, Dex was a little dog, right? He got picked on for being little. And then in the middle of the story, what happened? He turned into a super dog, right? A superhero. And at the end of the story, he saved Clevis, and Clevis became a super cat. All right. Let's go through our sight words. Are you ready? Quick, we're going to do these quick. All. Some. She. When. Her. Over. All right, one more time. We'll do the motions and the sayings with them this time. Some pizza. Some of the pizza, sorry. Her Majesty the Queen. She is a girl. All of the pizza. When can we go? Over the hill. All right. Now let's substitute some sounds. We're going to change them. Ready? Change the s in some to h. Hum. Change the f in fish to d. Dish. Change the n in net to g. Get. Change the in mad to b. Bad. Change the d in dot to p. Pot. All right. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget you have a sight word page to do. You have your Venn diagram to compare and contrast Dex and Clevis. And you have read to self. You need to be reading for at least 10 minutes on Epic. Teachers can see when you read, so make sure you're doing that for us, please, and thank you. Have a great weekend.